welcome, welcome to the next stream of Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Books, and here we are, just getting started on the stream today. Now, I had set up, I think in the last stream, a few things that we wanted to do, that we wanted to get started with, and I have hopefully spelled it in this stream right, so Dueteron. Yeah, oh, I've got the U around the U around the wrong way. Hang on, let's fix that up. That's updated. Okay, we have spelling right, but we want to make these fuel rods here. Now, in the last episode, what we did was get our green motor factory all happening and properly supplied, or largely properly supplied over on our Forge world. Excuse me, jeez. And we also mined out our gas planet, so that's got all the gas collectors we need, which is great. I've upgraded these blue motors over here, blue motor production. Hopefully we have enough inputs. I'm not sure that we will, but that's okay. But yeah, so this means that really we're actually going to do our conveyor belt Mark 3s today as well. I think, because I think it's about time we got those happening. But yeah, so the first thing I think I'll do is try and get those fuel cells happening. We don't need a whole heap, really, not at this point. This is just going to be my personal stash of them, rather than the full kind of experience that we'll be going for. Now I could set it down here, but I don't want to. Right? Simply because this is going to be, continue to be a research production area, so I don't think it'll work very well here. What we want to do is find a brand new space. What are we going to need for these? We're going to need the special acidic titanium, as well as the Dueteron and blue motors. Okay. So where are we importing blue motors from? We've got pink ones over there, got blue ones over here. Alright, so we might, just up this a little bit. And I'm pretty sure I've got a acid refined titanium line here somewhere. I think I'll put it in my mole somewhere, yeah. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. This is it here. Okay, so it's coming down this way. It's actually proliferated as well, which is good. And there's blue motors here. So all I really need incoming is going to be the Dueteron. Alright. Alright. So to do this, we're just going to fill in this little area down here. I don't need it for anything. Don't need that water. Won't be pumping it out. And we want to put a logistics station in. Now this logistics station is going to collect two things. It's going to collect hydrogen, and then that hydrogen is going to go into a fractionation sort of center, and it's going to collect Dueteron, and then we'll supply it locally. I think that's what we'll do. Now my hydrogen, my excess or extra hydrogen is going to come in from over here. We'll want that at some point. I'm going to fill in all this. Let's get it done. Okay, on solar power. Solar power's alright. Really hope we don't end up needing water for some reason. Not here anyway. Alright. Yeah, so we might actually want to put it here instead. And the reason being is that we're gonna wanna get that hydrogen somewhere to fractionate it. Yeah, this could be a fractionation center down here. Then it's not too long to run from over there. We've got extra hydrogen being produced as a byproduct of our fractionating, our X-ray cracking. Sorry. Yep. Here we are. All right. So check it here. Yep. Seems as good a place as any. Probably not the way that I should be doing that, but yeah, planning. Okay, so we want you to be demanding this stuff. Transport range of vessels. Let's go within a light year. And we also want you to be demanding hydrogen. Alright, so as soon as that's happening, yeah. Now I've told it that it needs full loads, right? So we're not going to get any Dueteron until one of those orbital collectors in the gas giant actually starts coming up with the goods. Now, just while I'm sitting on my inventory, I'm going to get rid of some of these things because I don't need them. Right, get rid of the litter. And we'll take a belt out from here. Dueteron is what you're going to be cooking up for us. Just going to try and run it up here and along. Here we'll go down a level now, sneak it under. Alright, now let's look at this. One of these. Yep. And will that bring in? Yeah, I think we can do it. Yep, like so. Cool. Now this guy can actually get a little bit closer to the ground, right? Down you go. Run you along. Like so. And in you go. Oh, hang on. That was not what we wanted, folks. That is definitely not what we wanted. Let's drop them back in. Hang on. Why is that even going onto a line? Why? Heavy thrusters. What else do we need reinforced thrusters for? Am I planning out something? Ray material? No. This is a good question. I don't know why I have that on a line. Were you going somewhere else? Did I break something? That's what I'm concerned about here. Oh wait, yeah, so I think what I've just done is I wanted this going like that, right? Because that's going down and supplying this factory, right? With these, yeah, okay. That makes more sense. Alright. Much better. Okay, but in the meantime, we do want this line to be coming down. Excellent. And we'll just do that, and we'll do that. Then we want a box for, oh, we don't have a box. We're out of boxes, people. Easily solved. Crisis averted. And we'll drop it in. Alright, so again, this is going to be for personal use, right? So we're not going to need heaps. We're just going to build this many of them. And we'll put in Dueteron fuel rods here. It's going to start loading up what it can. Be low on whatever this is. What is it? Silicon. Oh, right. Are you meant to be producing? Solar panels. Well, we do have like silicon coming in from another place now. It's not not amazing silicon. But we could probably make this a bit better. Do that. Alright, so the silicon that we're bringing in will have priority. But I'm pretty sure we're almost out of rock down here, yeah. So... You're no longer working at all, are you? No. Get rid of you. You're not working, but you've got rock, so we'll just give you a heap of rock here. What I might do is... I mean, I know I could use this rock for something else instead, maybe. I'm going to need it for glass, but I do have like a heap that's going to be exported from elsewhere, so I figure, yeah, let's just run down this supply, making a silicon here, and then it can be turned into something else, and we'll get all this space back. Okay, but down here we also need some power supply. Let's drop that in the middle there. And now we're just waiting on Dueteron. So it will probably take some time for that import to happen, right? And I'm not sure I'm that patient. So we could set up a fractionation station. Now to set up fractionation stations, we want to set up fractionators. And we need a few things to do that. And because we'll be wanting to set up these in the future as well, it won't be just one-off, I suspect. Dueteron gets used in a lot of different things. We might as well set it up in our mole here. Alright, so we need concrete, glass, processes, and steel. So let's go have a look at our... We've got processes here, we've got steel up here. We've got a concrete line somewhere here, and no. That's glass, good. That's iron, concrete. Alright, so this would be the perfect spot if we could work it out. Can we get something in there? Could I just maybe move this silicon line a little bit? If I just drop it in, yeah, if I drop it in here, it's gonna have good access, I think, to everything it needs apart from the glass. I want to call that good access, but maybe we can just tell it to go down and run around the side. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we're going to take this silicon line here, we're going to run it up an extra level. Just run it along the side here. Then across. And then we're going to tell it to chill. chill, dude. There we go. And then we'll use X button, get rid of that. Alright. So we can drop you, say, I think closer is better. You're going to be making our fractionators. Thank you. Now we need our glass to be a lot closer than it is. And to do that, we're just going to cut off this line a little bit. Cut it down like so. Actually, I'm just going to move you here instead. So I want a box there instead. Right, and we'll take the glass line, get it down to level 2 here, and then can we get it down to level 1? Really, so we'll be away. Now can we do level 1? Yes, we can. Then we can go back up to level 2. Then back up to level 3. Oh. Let's do level 2 again, and then get it back to level 3 here. And connect it back up. Excellent. Alright, so now we just need to hook these things up. Steel and concrete was the final ingredient, I believe. And we got everything. We have. Brilliant. And it's going to produce extra products occasionally as well, so that's great too. Now we're not going to want a full chest full of these. That'll be, what, 6 of them? It's probably going to be heaps. Need a chunk of them, but... Oh, hang on, we don't have an output to the box. Say, chest box. Just going to limit it to 3. Let's see how big these stacks get first. Stacks of 20. Oh. Getting the feeling. I think that's going to be all I want for the time being. We'll just let it fill up 2 stacks. Alright. So that's going on. That's a thing now. Hurrah. And we want to set up a fractionation station. I'm going to use this little chunk of real estate here. Oh, yeah, look at this. We have Dueteron coming in. So we don't even need that fractionation to run our personal belt supply. Kind of cool. Our personal belt supply. Our personal fuel rod supply. So this is just going to bring them in. And slowly produce this chest full. Now, because I've got that, I no longer need my hydrogen fuel rods, right? Over here, this is no longer a necessary thing, so we're just gonna get rid of those. Get rid of this entire line. I could have dumped the titanium back in there. And maybe get rid of you too. Alright, so no longer necessary. We've got these tubs full of hydrogen. Now this hydrogen does fuel my red science, so I want to be very careful about taking from this. to be honest, I could even just ignore it. The only reason to take from it is to make sure that this is still producing energetic graphite for me. Look at all the stuff we have. Cool. Alright. So fractionators. Just gonna walk over one, I think. Now fractionators will operate basically at the speed of the belts that you run through, so we can only do Mark II belts at the moment. But that's okay. What you do is basically there's a small chance of each fractionator outputting some Dueteron. A 1% chance, I think, so it just runs around in circles until you've filled up your needs, so to speak. So our input's going to come from the left here, and we might even run the output off to the right here. I think what I'm going to want to have happen here is set up this little area for actual proper Dueteron production. That's going to be for our actual power stations and that sort of thing that we'll be making them for. I also have this here. I don't think I need it. Do I? I don't think I do. Cool. Alright. So we'll do fractionators here, get that set up, and then we'll do Dueteron fuel rod production over here, and then that can morph into a new power, mini fusion power plant eventually. Not saying I'm doing all of that in this episode, just doing parts of it. Namely, first the production side of it. So first we need to get fractionators in, and we're going to have that coming off from the left here. Let's give it a jump. So we're going to do this. And then it's going to run back along the side here. And we're going to set up another one. Can I get a third in here? I probably can. Lack of item. Alright, let's not do that then. Just hydrogen, please. Oh, we want a splitter. One of these actually. I'll expand on this splitter later. For the time being, it's gonna come out like so, down a level. Want it to do. Ah, no, it's not quite what I want. Alright, yeah. Alright, so the reason why I'm setting it up like this is because I want the stuff that's going around in circles to have the priority.
So this is only going to feed when it's empty, and it can only get empty when it's producing Dueteron. But basically what will happen is that once these are powered up, it's going to run along in a bit of a ring here, and go around in circles until it turns into Dueteron, and it'll output that off to the bottom on the current relative screen axis. Or at least that's how it used to work. So if it's not, then hey, we've got a new thing to relearn. But I'm pretty sure that will have changed, stayed the same. Sorry, not changed. Pretty sure it was changed. Why are we doing it this way then? All right. That's that part, and then we want a belt running down the middle here as an output. Excellent. And while I'm here, I might as well hook these up. Get both sides done. And then if I want to make these more efficient, then the next thing to do is actually just to upgrade the belts to the tier 3 and best belts that you can have. Alright, and that's where our splitter system comes into play here as well. So we'd run this up like so, across, and then down into the middle here. I'm thinking I might have another split again, just so I can set up a third rung here. But for the time being, let's just test to see if we've gotten this right. We need to power this. Ooh, I've made things too tight. Might need to be a lot of towers, an excessive number of them, just to be able to get everything done. Oh, I haven't done this belt either. So, need an output. Like so. Alright, so you can see it's going around in a circle, and very occasionally we're getting a little bit of Dueteron pop out the side here. And that's basically how they work. Now, actual maths. So 1% of it's going to turn into Dueteron, and otherwise it's just going to turn into hydrogen, right? So if we've got 12 a second running through, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got a group of 14, another group of 14, so it's 28. So 28% chance of things running through at 24 a second. So a quarter of that, we're only going to get 4 a second or so output. So that's why you need a heap of these. You can use particle colliders to make more consistent output of it. But of course, you're using a lot more power, and particle colliders are harder to make, so just mass fractionators will actually work. Now from here, we're going to want to run that down a line into a kind of a factory-like setting. So let's look at these bad boys and see what they need again. We need 20 every 12 seconds just for one of them to be produced, and it's going to produce 2 of those. Yeah, it's going to be complicated math. It's going to be real complicated math. But let's say we have a line of 6. I feel like 6s, you know, this game works in 6s and 12s and that sort of thing. So let's run with that. And then run you up. And in. Run you like that. Run you like that. You're going to be producing those fuel rods as well. And then I'm going to need a couple of things inputting here. So I could yoink my blue stuff down here, but I also need my acidy stuff. Is that just transported anywhere? I don't think it is. Seems amazing. I suppose I've only just been using it. Right, so we're going to set up another transport hub here. We split it off this line here, so it's actually being transported to somewhere where, if we need it to be somewhere, then it can be done. Drop you there. And we'll probably split it here, just with this standard splitter. There we go. That'll get these guys working again. This is still trying to output at the moment. In the meantime, I have an excessive amount from my gas giant. So also got all these. I don't know what to do with them. Pretty sure I can put them in thermal plants, maybe. Anyway. So I need blue motors as well as the acid. So that's not going to come from there. Acid titanium. I think it's reinforced or titanium or something. It's called something else. I might as well run the blue motors from here. I don't see a reason not to. Let's just do a hop over. Just say 500 for the time being. See how we go with that. Right, then we'll hook this up. Then I can output them down here. Brilliant. Dueteron fuel rods, people. Now they are, of course, very hungry hippos, so we'll see how well we do on that. At the moment, we've just got plenty of output, but that won't last. We'll get our fractionators going. Now, because they're not as efficient as they could be, I feel like this is a good time to start thinking about our top tier belts. And for that, we're going to want to do some changes over at this guy here. First, we're going to give it some things and tell it to be the most efficient as possible. We're going to tell it to demand some graphene, and maybe just 400 or so. And we're also going to tell it to demand some blue motors. We'll just drop that down before we get a whole heap coming in. And then our factory is going to be set up here. Going to get rid of these wind power plants. So we're going to have a factory here and a box here. Now it is going to be producing our blue belts. It's going to need to be supplied by that. It's going to be output to there. And then we're going to need 2 belts coming out from this one. So belt number 1 is going to be our blue motors. Like so. And then belt number 2 is going to be our graphene. Like so. Now I do feel like efficiency could be a good thing again, so we'll just try and see if we can do this. And then cut you. Another proliferator there. Go. But these won't be proliferated, so I think I'm just wasting my time doing that. Yeah, oh well. Maybe I'll set it up. Oh, actually, I could set up a prolif. Is it that necessary? This is what I don't like the proliferators, is you can't just set up daisy chains like this. You actually need to put it on a line. Factory line. Anyway, blue motors will come in, and so will the graphene. Now we need to get graphene is the next thing. So we're going to go over to where graphene is being produced. And we're going to have a look at this. So you're kind of full up, just a planetary. Can we upgrade you to? Yeah, doesn't work like that. So if I had a like a international, as I keep saying, one of these guys, then that would have worked. But I can probably run it down and into that. So we'll go with graphene. We'll just say remote storage for the time being and local supply. And do you have drones? No. I'll give you some drones, buddy. And it's got to be max load when you're doing stuff. Alright, so this is going to be a graphene line that we're going to take out of the splitter here. We're already using it for solar sails, and also for pink dumbbells, as I like to call them. Just thinking here. There we go. I'll start filling this up, and then our drones are going to deposit that and take it over to our blue motor factory. Our blue belt factory, I should say. Jeez, just can't get it right, can I? In the meantime, you've made things run flat out. What are we lacking? We're lacking some acid. Yeah, so we've got acid outputting. Just following the chain along. But we seem to be missing rocks. Yep, we need more rock. I knew this day would come. We'll be rocking out. Oh, we didn't. Now, the main reason we need more rocks is not necessarily per rock supply per se, although I'm sure that that would help. But rather just our rock input belt can't keep up. Upgrade them to our highest possible level at the moment. Then we're going to go get some of these new fancy belts that have been produced for us. Upgrade a few things. Only got 100 or so, but that should do for our needs just for the moment. Basically, we need to improve it from this point onwards. There we go. Alright, so that's jump-started our acid production somewhat. These guys are all happy, they're producing acid. A lot more coming into our suppliers. That should increase the efficiency of these guys producing. But ultimately, I think we're going to need more acid production. I'm not sure if how much I really want to set up excess of this though. I'm almost inclined to just kind of let it go. The reason being is you do have planets in other systems that are acid planets, right? So really there's not a huge need. Eventually it's going to be an infinite resource, so much like water. Where you can just pump acid out of lakes and stuff in oceans. So it ends up being a waste of rock and petroleum that you can use for plastic. And you just ship it between systems. I think I'm good with the production output. That's helped things a lot. It's getting down nearly as far as we need it to be. And I think that's a problem we need to solve later with basically better tools. In the meantime, these guys, yeah, they're not keeping up with demand. So even if with these starting to pause now because they can't output, they're still sucking it up. Right. So, to improve this situation, we want to improve the belts that make up all this stuff. Hang on, we don't have outputs. Hey. guys need to do that. Start running in, so that's part of our problem. Alright, so by putting in the belts, you can see that it's now running at a hugely increased speed. These all have output lines, yep. So basically we want to do the same sort of thing as we go along here. You don't want to, oh yeah, there we are. Can I have grab you, please? No? Oh, there we are. Gotta get the right angle there. Oh, need more better belts, people. While we're here, we picked up some of those filthy, disgusting belts. Let's get rid of them. We are a superior belt man now. And there we go, and even the input is now not keeping up with our demand, so we're going to upgrade that to try and make it as chocker as possible. Why are you locked up? Who doesn't have an output yet? Here we go. There we go. Alright, so these guys are smashing out the Dueteron as Dueteron? Dueteron. Pretty sure it's Dueteron it's called. Dueteron, yep. As fast as possible, that's producing our fuel rods here. Non-personal use, personal use up here. Although at the moment, you know, I'm not doing enough constructory things to really need them in my inventory yet. But when I start warping around planets, they get very necessary then. But that's fantastic. Now, to actually burn those for power, we need mini fusion power plants. So for these, we need yet another factory called carbon nanotubes. And those nanotubes are going to be important for the production of these little guys, which we'll need for this purple science. So I think that the next logical step is to set up carbon nanotube production. And that will also help us on the way towards strange matter production. And that's the other thing that I'm thinking I set up in this little space here is some strange matter production. The reason why you need this power is because it is going to be a huge power spike. And not even my Dyson Swarm is really going to keep the power going to the level that I'm going to need. So that's why fusion power plants are a useful kind of upgrade. So we've got everything else we need to make those fusion power plants apart from the nanotubing. So that's what we're gonna go produce next. So we have graphene and we have titanium. We have plenty of it. So all it is a matter of is going to grab some chemical plants and getting that set up. We have chemical plants over here. We'll grab the 12 that we had. And like 30 is going to be overkill. 60 is going to be well and truly overkill. I don't know why I grabbed that much, but anyway. Now I still want to keep this for research purposes. This is where all my excess graphene is coming into. I say excess because I won't have much excess. Yeah, so this is possibly where I want this hydrogen to be doing something. Give me some more graphene coming in. Fractionation process. Actually, you know what? We will set up a interstellar logistics station here, and it is going to be dedicated to importing graphene. We're eventually going to need it to power this facility, so we'll chuck it in now. Drop down the transport range vessels for the time being, just because I'll need warpers in it if I'm going to do anything. And you want a remote demand, local demand. Bring it all in here, please. Output to there. Look at it, Speedy Gonzalez down the line. Zip, 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 zip. Alright. Less sound effects, more action. And we have this guy up here, Old Faithful. Alright. So we can drop in our logistics station here. We've got a coal thing here as well, so we can make this our graphene supply. And we're going to do the similar sort of thing to this up here as well. I think I was keeping this for expansion of solar cell production, but you know what? I'm going to change my mind. Because I want to mine this out. I'm gonna need new blueprints. For the time being, I'll just get some of the old belts. As well as pick up some fresh new belts. Cool. Alright, so that should increase our graphene production somewhat. Actually, while I'm here, because I no longer really need it as backup power, let's just take those and drop it in. There you go, buddy. That should improve our situation here, right? So everything's running now. It's getting enough graphite to supply these with keep our graphene production going just. Let's run it down, supplying this, slowly increasing. Which is good because the next thing that we're producing is that carbon nanotuning. Now I actually have all the things I need in this station, but unfortunately it's not going to really work out well for me. Because like I don't really have the space to put down a chemical factory anywhere nearby. So we will be transporting it. To transport it, I think I need some more planetary transporters. Go pick up another stack of those. Might as well fill up our stack of these guys as well. Grab these. Shopping at the mall. Yeah, that'll help us out for a bit. I'm low on charged batteries too. Alright, so I'm thinking, yeah, we take it away to another place, maybe down here. Like an okay position, we can fill in this ocean. Alright, where are we taking that? What are we going to be doing with it? Right, so we're going to be producing particle broadband with it to make our next research point. And we'll be running out to our mall. Yeah, okay, so this would be a good location because then I can set up my particle broadband production around here. And what I might actually do is use a interplanetary station, because then I can also bring in any other bits that I need from that station. Alright, so we'll use a heap of soil pile just to fill in this kind of section here. Now the reason why I'm not just panning it is that this is surprisingly expensive foundations. So it takes up a lot of steel, and I can use that steel for other stuff, so steel and concrete. Cool, alright, that's plenty. More than enough, I would say. Go down to production, we're going to work out what we're going to do here. So I think the station is going to go here, here, yeah. Alright. Now we know that we're going to need titanium. Just yoink it down to say we just need 1,000 or so in storage. We know we're going to need graphene, so we'll also do that to say just take 1,000. It's just going to be storage for remote purposes. It's going to demand for local purposes. And then we're also going to, as a result, put in carbon nanotube. We're going to say remote storage for the time being. And then local supply. We're going to supply the locals with it. And then we want our production to be happening. And we'll probably just run it off here, so it's 2 in, 1 out, effectively. Right. Yeah. So we will have 1 and 2, and then you'll be input. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 12 all up. I don't know how much we really will need, but probably a whole bunch, so. Oh, was I using it? Gotta use the best belts now. Might as well. Get into the habit of that. We should upgrade to the top tier sorters too. There's no reason we don't. We shouldn't be doing that now. Right. That for the time being. Alright, so we're going to go input here, output here, which means we can do input here, output here. Therefore I can just snip off the ends here. So, oh, not quite. Right, and then we should be able to just copy that down, and then do the same here. We want power. Power to this beast. Oh no, we got it wrong. Got it wrong on the bottom. So it should be input then output. Oh, that's why it's doing that crazy funky thing. There we go. It's working. We have carbon nanotubing. So that's going to be used to create particle broadband. Now for particle broadband, we're also going to be needing some crystal silicon, and we're going to be needing some plastic. So let's go check out our plastic production first. We have it. It's up here, but I'm not sure it's really doing much these days. Yeah, so it's supplying this, and because it's a science-related thing that we're largely using those organic crystals for, it means that it's just doing basically bugger all. Now, let's stop that so it is doing something. Let's upgrade you to the next level. Get you plugged in. And then you can also be a plastic supplier. Local and remote. We're just gonna go remote storage again. And from the upper belt here, we'll take you off, run you around town, show you good time, and then end up there. Alright, so we're starting to store up plastic, which is great, and I know that I'm importing crystal silicon from another planet. So, if I went plastic and then crystal silicon, I'd have no output. Take that particle broadband anywhere else. So what am I going to need broadband for, apart from our research? Not for this, not for strange matter, I don't think. Nope. It's probably going to be used for quantum chips later on. So we could put another logistics station down further, I think, to compensate for that, or off to the side here. Yeah, alright, so we're going to start making our particle broadband. I'm going to say that you need to import some plastic, sir. Local demand, remote storage, and then also we want you to be bringing in some crystal silicon. Just 2,000. I'll call it local storage, remote demand. Give you some own guys to do that. I also probably wanted some of those. The reason being it's going to be supplying these locally. It just does have some local demand needs. Alright. Now, for particle broadband, every 8 seconds it's going to run. So, to produce even just 1 a second, I'm going to need 8 of these factories. Now, the actual research itself, every 10 seconds it needs 1. So, I could produce, if I can produce 1 a second, I can supply 10 of these, which is a decent number. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to set up probably 12, just because I like the round numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we want to do... Yeah, we'll do it like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. Right, so that's 12 particle broadbands coming on at us. Now we're going to grab our fancy builds. Yeah. Grab our carbon nanotubing first. Down to the bottom. And then we'll grab our plastic. And then we'll grab our crystal silicon. And then put another station here. Grab our belts. Run them down this way. And then up. And then in. Alright, so we'll set this one up and then copy it down. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just run it down the line. And out of power poles, which I should have enough to complete this.
Excellent. We have our tubing. So this is going to produce more research. I think the research supply line, we can build it here, and it can run in on this side, is what it will happen. Alright, so research things, we need to build a few of those buildings. What do we need? It's not too much. I usually just build these in my inventory because it's not too often that you need to make these guys. You notice that I've just got this, when we get to there, I want heaps. So grab a heap of them. Make 10 now. Might as well make 12. Alright, so the other thing that we want this thing to be doing, apart from particle broadband, it can be a supplier. We also want it to have processors. We're going to tell it to grab maybe 2,000. And you're going to be a demander. Load of drones. Keep it within the solar system. Or the system, sorry. Alright, so next, research components. Let's run them there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so it's not the tallest. I'm going to want to change that. That's okay for the moment. We want to set up our proliferation station here as well. So we're just going to take our logistics off the side here. Run it through. Yeah, I didn't expect to be doing purple science today, but you know, look what happened. Just look what happened. Alright. Up and around. There we go. And then it's gonna need to go up slightly. Ah, it's doing that funny thing. Seems to be like bugged. If you've done this, then you need to start it again. Up one, please. Nope, you need to get out a little bit first, alright. It's fine. Back down. I think that'll do it. I can then do this, yep, and then this. Cool. Now we're also going to take a box. Drop it here. And we're going to do 2 in, 1 out. We'll make it a big box so that later on we will have everything sort of covered. Okay, so now all we need is the inputs for this. Run them this way. So yes, I know we're running it in, then straight back out again. Which doesn't seem like the most efficient way of doing things, but it's okay. I knew it would happen. I want it stored before we send it elsewhere.
gonna level. It's gonna do a weird thing here. Yeah, there we are. Alright, so that's one part done. I stuffed that up. Alright, so we actually want it to be one more along. And then across. And then down. Cool. So what's it need of each? Needs more processors than other things, so that's good. The way that I've set it up, we'll do that, and then that, and then that. And we have purple science. Purple science blocks are happening. After a solid day of playing. Cool. Oh god, what have I done? What? No. No. Bad filtering. Change, you should be that. I don't know why it's doing this. I swear that was not me. Yoink it all out. Yeah. Oh, we could put a proliferation line here actually. That's a good idea. Excellent. Alright. Purple science happening. Producing it. I have no outputs for it. There we go. There we go. Purple science happening. Doing the swapsies. I think I want to 2 out, not. Yeah. Okay. Now these are basically preloading. Ready for the computer to start again. Which enables some more science for us. Hurrah! We get more upgrades. Now we could do universal exploration, explore the universe. But I think what we want to do is first increase our mining speed, but also reduce the ore consumption, if possible. Because that means we get things going further and farther. So many things we can research, or extra core energy. So many things, so little time. Alright, so let's go that. Let's go Mecha Core. And then let's go Veins Utilizations. At least get the first tier of that. So many things. All the things. we can get wave function inference. Yeah, so you don't need it. What needs the quantum chips, maybe? No, so is that the only thing that we needed that carbon nanotubing for, or is just purple research? Is that it? Like, that's gonna be my entire factory if so. Yeah, that just seems like a dead-end product then. Hmm. Oh wait, is it for something else maybe? Like our extra proliferators? Or is it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Alright. So we could try and go for vertical light launching silo, which would technically start us on our Dyson Sphere project sort of path. But the problem with that is that um, we can't actually produce the quantum chips or anything like that at the moment. So we really do need quantum chips before that happens. And quantum chips take a lot. So instead, we're going to just focus on personal upgrades first, and things like solar sail life, just making our life a little bit easier. We'll make that a little bit more efficient. And we want to unlock warping as well. So warping will be done with the gravitational lens. Well, I do need gravitational lens to turn them into warpers. And for that I need strange matter and diamonds. So it's all kind of coming together. But for the time being, I am not keeping up with these guys are just not producing fast enough for our researchers. So we probably want a few more. Because we're not actually getting up to a full hash capability. And we know it's not any of the other producers. So yeah, let's go make some research stations. Alright, more iron at the moment. Just take it straight from the smelters. Now we need magnetic coils. It's up here. Alright, so this should give us a heap of these things. Iron again. Take it from this smelter. We need glass. Alright. Maximum tower. Jeez, how tall do these get? Oh my god. I can't even see that high. Alright, so that's quite possibly the limit of our sorter's ability to supply them. There we go. That's how tall we get on the labs. It seems to be supplying them, so that's alright. They do take a while to run these ones. And now we're starting to back up here. That's a good sign. Of course, it's a good sign that we need more labs. And that would make our research go faster, potentially, so let's do it. But we will get Universe Exploration Level 3 soon, and that, I think, is where we'll end the stream once we have that, and we've checked out our local planetary group, or, sorry, local interstellar group. Yeah, we're going interstellar here, because I want to know what's around, and what our next expansion plans might be. Because at the moment we're just kind of building up our home planet, which is all well and good, don't get me wrong, I like building up my home planet. But I'm thinking that we could be doing some other stuff as well. I'm really happy to see that this is starting to make things run over here as well. Oh, I didn't connect this up. Oops. That could have been embarrassing. Yup. It's like it's teleporting. Zoop, zoop. Alright, we just achieved it as well. I wasn't even watching, I was just fixing the problem. Okay. So, let's check out what is in our local interstellar group. So this is us in Tegeta. We'll probably rename that at some point. If anyone has ideas on names, we'll open to suggestions. Now what that exploration sort of thing did for us is, somehow I've got one in inventory, is make it so that we can see what's within a certain light year radius of it. Specifically, it's telling us within 6 light years we can now see what sort of resources we're probably going to have in different systems. So instead of having to warp to each one to find out what's there, we know what's within our local groups. So out as far as this guy, maybe out, no, not quite that guy. Yeah, so if we could, I wonder if there's a way that you could set it so that you could just see everything within a certain radius. But let's start off with this guy because you're 6 light years, and we get this little thing saying signal detected. So that means in this particular one, we have sulfuric acid ocean somewhere. We also have hydrogen and deuterium supply, which are both good things. And then we've got other standard sort of ores. So that's actually quite good in terms of the acid. We know that we're going to need that or want to import it. For this one, we have detected fire ice, which is a rare resource that's very handy in the production of graphene. It also produces a little bit of hydrogen for us. And then we also have kimberlite ore, which I believe kimberlite ore will allow us to do this. Kimberlite? Yeah, so direct to diamonds. So skipping the whole energetic graphite, coal, graphite, diamonds. Instead we can go, alright, one of these is going to produce straight away to diamonds, which is really useful because we'll want our graphite for other stuff like plastic production and that sort of thing. Alright, so just zooming out again. Oh man, I need to get back to this same rotation that I was in. Alright, yeah, that's what I had selected before. That's 5 years 6 light years away from us. Alright. What else we got? This guy's got fractal silicon, so that's really good for producing our diamonds shaped silicon, so useful. This is too far away to know what it has in particular. It's got kimberlite again. Whoa, this has a heap, right? It has oil. We're going to need more of that. It has sulfuric acid. It has organic crystals as well. So organic, instead of that whole process for organic crystals, you know, in chemical plants, then, you know, this has got a lot of what I want. So Murphak may be where I go next, but we're just going to keep checking things out. Spiniform stalagmites are quite useful as well from memory. It's got sulfuric. We've got a few places with sulfuric acid, so that's really nice. Crude oil. So what I'm really looking for, and it might be further away at the moment, is optical grading crystals, if at all possible. But I don't have it within my local group from the looks of things. Now the reason why I was looking for optical grading crystals is because it's really useful in the production of Casimir crystals, and it skips a whole heap of the production chain as an alternate recipe, and that's really nice, right? But it doesn't look like we're gonna be that lucky. But that's okay. I think, where was it? Cursor is pretty good. But it was Murphak, alright? So we're going to rename this, just temporarily until I come up with a better name, but basically, yeah, always show label. Alright, that'll work. We'll come up with a better name later on. But that way, with the always show label, I know that I want to do something there. It makes it tag up. Now the other cool thing here is we've got a black hole down this way. That's going to have some special resources. And we should also have a neutron star down here. So there's all these different star types, and they all have different planetary bodies, which will have different things around them. And we're not in range of an O-type star as well, so I think these guys might have my crystals that I'm after. But they're a little bit far away. And that's what the game does. It does put the more interesting stars further away, so as you're progressing, you know, it's following a tier sort of process. Another thing is that we've just expanded our ability to hold energy, which is nice. But before we go, let's just set up the next few things that we'll put in our queue. Our ability to warp will be important, so we'll put that in. Already queued up energy circuit, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Plane filters, yeah, that's what we need Casimir crystals for. We'll put them in there. Ultimately, I'm expecting to really go for different tech first. Another thing of construction zones, extra construction zones when we're making things will be useful too. So we're just going to wait this out. We'll queue that up. And yeah, so then the next thing that we want to do, I think, is build our ability to warp out of this place, to get out of this place. So we're going to go for strange matter. We're going to go for the production of those mini fusion stations. Now that we have all this all operating, which is nice. So I think also we probably want to... Something's not getting up the chain here, right? Ah, it's the yellows. we have not enough yellows. I probably want to get up our sorters as well. In fact, we can just do that very quickly, I think. Just before we leave. I know I keep saying I'm gonna go, but keep disappointing everyone. And so you're gonna need that. You're gonna need a box. You're gonna need this. Need power. We're gonna need more power poles. I'm here anyway, so that's good. And we need green motors for this. So just grab some green motors off her because we've spent enormous amounts of time making sure we have green motors for days. I'll be up to level 3, see if we can get you over all this stuff. Come on, come on. Yep, away you go. There we go. Let me run you up that way, just in case I do need something. And then down twice, so that we can input you. Come on, drones. There we go. In you go. Beautiful. Again, we're not going to want to fill this box up. Just wait for this to produce a few for me. That'll be enough. And we'll just finish that off, so because I know that that's the sort of thing I'm probably going to forget. Upgrade you, upgrade you. Hell, I'll upgrade the line. While we're at it, we'll do you as well. Excellent. Yep, now it's keeping up. Now it's the purple stuff that's being the problem. That's not a surprise. It's probably it's optical stuff. I kind of thought that might be the case. So we could almost build another line of these. Keep our purple science producing. But it seems to be running at the moment, so that's good. I don't think it'll keep up. I think we'll see it die down a little bit. Yeah, there we are. A few going offline. I believe this is staggered up with different research types though as well, so it'll give the purple stuff a pause and a chance to regroup. These guys have an advantage because they're well and truly stacked ahead. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I think we've achieved purple science, which is more than I was actually hoping to do, which is fantastic and really, really good to get that done. Almost as, just enough. All I was doing is improving my personal power supply was the idea. And we've got extra solar sails, so that'll increase the power capacity of our Dyson sphere, as well as make these solar sails a little bit more efficient. Now it swears, yeah, there we are. Just want to drop you in there. But my name is Spooked,
If you did enjoy the stream, please drop me a follow. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. If you're watching later on YouTube or later on Twitch as well, because you know the videos stick around for a few days, then drop me a like, subscribe, or another follow there. If you did enjoy this content. If you didn't, do it anyway. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.